Hey everyone, Brendan Snyder here. How are you? Thanks so much for joining me and welcome to a special review for the brand new Kiss Super Deluxe Edition for Dress to Kill, their 1975 third studio album. 6-disc box set, 5 CDs, 1 Blu-ray featuring 75 tracks. Just released on October 24th of 2025. It is a website exclusive, which is probably why you're saying, why haven't I seen this or know anything about it? Where did it come from? Because it kind of just appeared out of nowhere. They announced it about a week before, and believe it or not, actually shipped even before October 24th. So pretty crazy. This box set already available. Head over to the band's website if you want to get one. Otherwise, stick around here, and we're going to get into it in just a bit. But before we start, if you're new to my channel, and haven't already hit the subscribe button, please do. Leave a comment, hit like. All those things do help support my channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. And of course, as an added bonus, by turning on notifications, you'll never miss an episode and stay up to date on really cool things like this, where we're talking about the brand new Kiss box set, Dress to Kill. And man, this thing is a beast. If you know anything about the other two box sets that Kiss have done, Destroyer and Creatures of the Night, this one here, just like it, full of all kinds of cool things. But I want to jump back a bit here. So the band forms in 73. Now what's crazy is 2 short years later, the band has already released 4 albums, 3 studio, 1 live albums. We get the self-titled in 74, Hotter Than Hell in 75, Dress to Kill in 75, and Alive in 75. 3 albums. I mean, can you imagine a band doing that today? Almost unheard of. But back then, it was actually a very normal thing to get 2 or 3 albums a year from your favorite band. I really wish we could get back to that. So while their third studio album, Dress to Kill, features the signature song Rock and Roll All Night on it, that was yet to be a hit at the time when it came out. It really didn't catch on until after Alive came out. And so Dress to Kill has kind of taken on a retroactive feeling as a classic album, because nearly every song on the album itself is now considered to be a Kiss staple, a classic tune. You get songs like Room Service, Two-Timer, Come On and Love Me, Rock Bottom, She, and of course the all-time classic Rock and Roll All Night. Still, the thing is, the album itself has only been certified gold in the US, 500,000 copies sold, which for me at least makes it a bit strange that Kiss or their label have decided to release it as a super deluxe edition 6-disc box set. It is not the album I would have expected, especially if we think about celebrating an album's 50th anniversary. I think I would have thought of Alive getting that treatment long before Dress to Kill did. But what's really interesting is that the Dress to Kill album is the lead up to Alive. And so with this box set, it dives into that territory, and it really gives us that feeling and lead up, and making or showing just how relevant that album is to the legacy of Alive, which we know as one of the all-time classic live albums. So the box set, which, as I said, so this being their third studio album, it is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. Super deluxe edition, just like the others that Kiss has done, although Dress to Kill and Creatures of the Night, both available, in stores or online through Amazon or whatever. You can't find this one that way. You got to go over to the band's website. It's $250, but it also includes a shirt. Let me grab that real quick. So this comes with it whether you like it or not. The box set's $248, and then they tack on a shirt with it, making it a bundle. And I didn't really want the shirt, although the shirt is very cool. I think I would have liked the price of the box set better at $248 instead of roughly $300. But this is cool shirt. And what I do like about it, at least, is the back side of this is done like an 8-track tape as opposed to, say, LP or something else. The other thing is what they've been doing with this official merchandise type stuff that's being released as they celebrate the albums. It's got this sort of sewn on patch down here that is making this different than if you were to buy this, say, in a store. Now, this shirt I'm quite sure will not be available in a store, but like one like this that you can go online and buy, it isn't going to have that sort of a thing. So this being sort of official merch direct through the website does make it a little bit cooler than that. But right now, that is the only way to get it. So it's the bundle of the box with the shirt, coming up to about $300. And then you add in your shipping and your tax. And I chose to do a 2-day shipping on it, which was somewhere around in $20 or $25 territory. But I wanted this thing very quickly. And they did. They got it to me super duper fast. So that was a cool thing. Now, box set itself, 6 discs, 75 tracks. It's got demos. It's got outtakes. Probably the bread and butter, the thing that I think most people are going to be interested in this box set are the 2 complete live shows that it comes with. And both of these live shows are 2 of the 4 that were recorded and used to create the classic live album Alive. So they used a selection of the tracks from those 4 shows, and you're getting 2 of those shows in this box. And I'm pretty sure that when we get the Alive box set, which has got to be one that's coming, we'll get the other 2 live shows. So then you'll have all 4 shows that make up the classic Alive album. But we do get 2 of those here. And if you're familiar with, well, really, if you know Kiss history, then this has long since been talked about and everybody pretty much knew it. But Alive is not as live as, they would have liked us to think. And over the years, it has come out that it's not really, meaning they went back into the studio, they did overdubs, and they really cleaned it up. And it sounds fantastic, of course, and that's what makes it one of the greatest live albums. It's more like a studio creation than it actually is just straight warts and all live. But these 2 live shows that are on the box set from which the recordings come, before they were cleaned up, before the overdubs, if you want to hear what Alive really should have sounded like, especially if it had been recorded today or released today, where they don't do all those kind of overdubs and everything that they did back in the 70s and even the 80s, the 2 shows in here don't have any overdubs or anything like that. And Eddie Kramer was brought in to mix and master, well, I don't know if he mastered, but definitely mix those shows. So they've got great sound, and we're now hearing them in their entirety. And for me, at least, that's sort of, as I said, the bread and butter, the really cool thing. But the way this breaks down is Disc 1 is a remastering of the album. It's got 10 tracks. There's no bonus content on that Disc 1. Disc 2, which has 23 tracks of demos, outtakes, alternate mixes. Discs 3 and 4 is live at Detroit's Cabo Arena on May 16th of 1975. That has 18 tracks on it. Disc 5 is Davenport, Iowa, RKO Orpheum Theater, July 20th, 1975. It has 14 tracks on it. Not sure why there is a difference between the 2 shows. Why were they sometimes performing 18 versus sometimes doing 14? And yes, both have the guitar solo and drum solo, because I thought initially, well, maybe those were removed from the Davenport, Iowa show, since it's only the 14 tracks, but that is not the case. And then Disc 6 has Blu-ray audio featuring the Dolby Atmos and 5.1 surround sound mixes, the 10 tracks there. And then you get a hardcover book, and you get a ton of memorabilia in this thing. So let's go ahead and crack this thing open and start taking a look at it. And I want to talk to you guys a bit more about Disc 2 in particular. So this thing here, just like the other boxes, it is a lift top. There we go. Just comes off like that. And then right off the bat, we see the hardcover book on here, and we get one of these little straps that I can lift the stuff out. So I'll be doing that. I'm going to come back to the book at the end of this. So I'm going to put this down, but I will come back to that. And then you see some other cool stuff that's in here, and we'll get to that. let me pull those things out, because I want to get to the discs first and talk to you guys about that. And I'm going to come back to all this because I know that's of particular importance to everyone. But let's pull out the discs. And I probably should have pulled these things out for you guys when I just did the little run through on it. But let's take a peek at them now. So they're in the cardboard sleeves like these. The discs are just in here like this, so no particular sleeve on the inside, but they replicate the LP. And I'm going to go ahead and show you the other ones, and I'll come back to one of these in just a moment. But let's see. So get these the right way up. This is disc 2, the demos. I'm going to show you that a bit more in just a second. 3 and 4 is one of the concerts that make up for Alive, and you can see that has alternate artwork that would become the Alive, including that famous back cover right there. And then we've got the other live show, okay, and the Blu-ray itself. And we do get, I'm trying to think, I think we get a couple of video pieces on this one. In fact, I'm going to flip over the box and just see. I think we get 2 bonus videos on here. We get Rock and Roll All Night and 75 promo video, and Come On and Love Me 1975 promo video as well. So there is some video content on the Blu-ray, but otherwise it is the Dolby Atmos and 5.1 surround sound mixes that are on there. But as I said, disc 2 is really the one that I wanted to talk to you about. This one here in more detail, I mean, at least. 23 tracks on this one here. There's 6 demos on this one, including 2 Kiss outtakes, the song Mistake, which as far as I know has never been released in any format. Yeah, there's been bootlegs floating around. I've got a bootleg of it, had it for a number of years now. It's really sort of a countrified song, even more than Hard Luck Woman. This one here really has the band verging into that territory, so I can understand why it didn't come out. Not even sure how they got as far as recording it, but you know, it's cool to get it. And then Burning Up with Fever, which is a song that would later turn up on Gene Simmons' solo album from 1978. A great track. Can't believe it didn't make the album, but of course it left it for Gene to record in 1978. Then we get 9 alternate mixes on here. These, I think, are some of the most interesting things that are on the album. We get stuff like Two Timer, an alternate mix, Ladies in Waiting, an alternate ending, and then there's different vocal takes and things like that. So there's some really cool stuff amongst all of these tracks that are significantly different, that make it fun to hear. And then we get 8 instrumentals on here as well. So the 6 demos, the 9 alternate mixes, the 8 instrumentals, that's the 23 tracks on this. Now, typical to things like this, 5 of the 23 tracks are versions of the classic track Rock and Roll All Night. So on that one disc alone, you're hearing that song 5 times. And in a couple instances, they're one right after another. And I've never liked that. I've talked a lot about that in other reviews. I wish bands, labels would hear that and stop putting so many of the same song on one disc. But the versions that are in here, I have to say, are significantly different and are very interesting. We get a demo version, then we get a party version, which sounds like there is a party happening in the background and the band is playing at a, you know, kegger kind of thing. Then there's the alternate vocal version, which is cool. There is a revved up super fast version of the song, and then an instrumental. So as you can tell, all of them very different, all of them worthwhile in getting, but I don't really want to hear the song 5 times when I throw the disc on. I like to put the disc on and listen to it in its entirety, and I kind of want all of the discs to play like standalone albums if possible. And that's something that I have to say is about my only complaint for this box set here, is that the way that that was put together for that particular disc being like that. But I want to dig into the memorabilia here. So lots and lots of cool stuff. Now, first thing I'm going to show you is something that is not talked about, as far as I know, not on the band's website or anything like that. I want to get the hype sticker out to show you. So this was what comes on the front of the box, and it's what you can read when you go over to the band's website. And you can see down here at the bottom, it lists all the memorabilia, or at least what I believe to be all the memorabilia. Now, I read that stuff. I knew what was coming. I was very excited about it. I'm one of the ones that actually does love all the memorabilia and stuff. So for me, the price tag of this is worth it because I'm not only getting all this great music and stuff, I'm also getting all this cool memorabilia. I open it up, and after I take out the book and I flash the box at you, you could see this. And I thought, what the heck is that, right? Now, if you're a guy, you probably already recognize this as a tie. This is a replica of Gene Simmons' tie that he is wearing on the cover. Let me get it up. Now, I know it's in black and white, but if you zoom in on that or you go look at it, this is the tie. And kind of crazy that, you know, it's not black and white, it's a color tie. But we get a tie, and they didn't tell us that. And I will say this, if you were buying this tie, this is a $50 tie minimum. So especially just that it's a Kiss tie. Now, it doesn't say Kiss anywhere on it. It is literally just a replica of the tie. And I thought that was really cool. So yeah, you get the shirt, and that's a $40+ shirt. And then you get this tie, but that in and of itself, those two things are things you can wear, things you can use. So even out of the memorabilia aspect, $100 of that is that kind of content, and you drop down to 200 for the rest of this stuff. I think it's a very worthwhile priced box, in my opinion. It is a lot to shell out up front, but you're getting your money's worth, in my opinion. So anyways, it was just very cool because this was not called out. I was not expecting it. So when I opened that box, I got extra excitement out of it. And I'm quite sure that's exactly what they were trying to do. Now inside that tie thing is also this. There's 4 buttons. I don't know if you can see it happening. It goes from Kiss to saying Love Gene, and then you get that with all the other ones that are in here as well. And then there's this, which is very cool. It's like a folder, and you open it up, and you've got all this cool memorabilia and stuff that's inside here like this. So let's go through all of this now. And I don't know exactly what these things are meaning. There's special names given to it if you read through that list of stuff, calling it, you know, what type of a sticker this is. But you get, you know, some stickers. We get some iron-on patches, Road Crew, Dress to Kill. We get backstage passes. All right, let's see what else we get. I don't want to miss anything. Oh, we get a replica ticket that actually looks like it's been torn. And I wonder if that's because the ticket that they had to replicate from was a torn ticket, as opposed to just give us the rest of it, right? Make the whole thing. And is it the right scale? It seems awfully big. I seem to remember these things being about that size. But either way, you get that. That's cool. We get 4 coasters, each with the face of one of the members on it. I don't like that it's in sealed paper. I can't open it. I'm not going to tear it. Fortunately, I can see through it, but I'm sort of a purist. I'm not going to destroy that. They do mention a New York Kiss license plate, but it's only this big. The box is big enough to put a real license plate in, but then you get one that says Kiss DTK, Dress to Kill, not Down to Kill or whatever, but you get that. This was cool. I wasn't expecting this. A Dress to Kill keyring, New York 1975 kind of thing on it. We do get the obligatory Kiss guitar picks, something from everyone here. We get decals, which this one in particular I thought was very cool. We get some promo photos that aren't in the highest quality. I kind of would have thought these would be a lot better shots, but also remember, 1975, the band had yet to explode, so this may well have been the quality of what they could afford at the time. This is an advertisement, Japanese advertisement. We then get, I think this is like a press kit, promo type thing, right? This is the kind of thing they used to send out before there was internet. We could look bands up and stuff. They had to tell people who were talking about the band something about them to have reference source material. So that's what these kind of things were. Not entirely sure what this is, but it goes through showing all the different logos and sizes and things. And again, maybe was used by magazines, newspapers, things like that for having the art and what was needed in the publications. And then we get some posters and things. So let's see. I haven't even opened these posters. So this is actually the first time I'm going to see these as well. And this next thing I'm going to get into in a little bit is actually the first time I'm opening it with you as well. So there we go. Cool concert posters. The Demons of Rock and Roll, Dressed to Kill on Casablanca Records. It's a single-sided. All right, so that one was glossy. This one here is matte. And this one here being the Kiss show. So I think that one is really cool, especially with having the live album from the same show. I think the Backstage Pass might match up with that as well. I'd have to check the concert ticket. All right, this next one is a glossy one. Just a very, very cool Dressed to Kill photo shot of the band. All right, so this is the other thing that it comes with, a whole bunch of merch type stuff here. Oh man, wow, wow. Okay, this is very cool. Look at this lenticular. I don't know if you can see the movement. I think I can see it moving a little bit like that, doing it. But trust me when I tell you that when I look at it, I see the three-dimensionality of it, and that's very cool. We get stickers in here. We'll actually get lots of different types. Oh, this is magnets, not stickers. So very cool. These are the kind of things I'd love to open and put on my refrigerator, but, oh, wow. This is, oh, a mobile. Very cool. Oh, nice. I was like, at first I wasn't sure what it was. I thought it was like a promo thing that you sit on a counter at a record store, but I can see the little thing that you hang it from and the strings inside it. So a Kiss mobile. All right. There's a newspaper, the Gotham Rock City News. So replica of some kind of article or something that had come out, you know, a special thing on Kiss. And then we get some cool shots. Wow, these are nice, big, glossy shots, obviously from live. Far better than those black and whites that I was showing you before, which is, you know, maybe supposed to be the point, right? I mean, we're going through the history of Kiss from being underdogs and not very big on, look at the size of this drum kit. Before Alive and kind of after or during Alive. And then this replica comic type thing on Kiss. They're their own superheroes. You don't even have to draw them in cartoon form. Just seeing them as is the cartoon. So all very, very cool stuff. And we still have the book. So replica of the Electric Lady Studios, you know, tape case for recording the album. This was the hype sticker that I showed you a little bit earlier. The glitter machine marches on. And right away we get into some cool stuff about it. It's great interviews, commentary, history, replica images of things, lyrics, all the different alternate album covers and things are in here, singles, more lyrical stuff, but it is a great coffee table style book. I was always very intrigued and loved the album cover of these guys in their suits with the makeup on. It was just such a dichotomy between the image of the band, not in their costumes, but in suits. So very cool. And you can just see how much there's a lot of great big photos, but there's also stuff to read in it. And I like that. I love having something like this to sit back and really enjoy while I'm listening to all of this, getting to know it and everything. So a lot of cool stuff. But there's all the different versions, as I was saying, about album covers and single releases and stuff. Later on, we'll get into some of that in here. If I can thumb through some of it just to give you kind of an overview. There we go. Right. So there's a lot of great stuff in this. And I think when we get to the back of it, we get into just a lot more images after they sort of get through all of the stuff that we want to read about. But it is a really great book. And like I said, if you've got the Destroyer, you've got the Creatures of the Night, and you love those, you're going to love this one. Why they're not releasing it much bigger, I don't know. But bottom line, so Dress to Kill, this might not be Destroyer, right? Destroyer was the big album. I think it sold 2 million copies. It came out after Alive. The band had exploded on Alive, but then really exploded with Destroyer. And Dress to Kill doesn't immediately scream box set treatment, super deluxe box set treatment the way that Destroyer does. Now that I've got it, to me it totally makes sense, especially with the tie-in to the Alive album or the lead up to it. So the box set has been a real surprise to me. I've really enjoyed it. It's really shown me the album in a new light. I've always enjoyed it. I've always had an appreciation for it, but never to this degree. So I do think that the box set, like all of these super deluxe editions, are really more for the hardcore collector, which is maybe why it's only being sold on the band's website. They've kind of come to realize that's where it should be, and they don't really need to go through the mass marketing and all of that sort of stuff, which costs a lot of money to manufacture and send those out. To just do it from their website, they probably can sell less, make more type thing, and I get that as well. So while it might be for hardcore collectors that want to deep dive into this early period, right before the band broke big, hear how Alive came to be, I do think this box set is for you. So if you're a huge fan of Alive, I think you need this box set. If you're a diehard Kiss fan, I think you need this box set too. But there you go. That is my review and unboxing for Kiss's Dress to Kill Super Deluxe Edition box set that is a website exclusive, at least so far right now. And there is no 2-disc edition of this like they've done for the other two box sets. So again, if you want any of this content, any of that unreleased material, you are going to have to buy the whole box set. And as I said, they don't sell it without the shirt, so you do have to buy the bundle, which adds up to about $300. But there you go. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have chosen to pick this thing up and you're loving it, weigh in, let me know. All right, everyone. Take care. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.